What's up guys, Galaxy King here, and in today's video I've got my Galaxy Cipher deck profile. Making a Galaxy Cipher deck that was as consistent as possible was a real struggle for me because Ciphers don't have a lot of synergy with the Galaxy archetype. There is some, but not as much as Photon. So Ciphers are more of a going second variant of this deck. But the better option, in my personal opinion, would be just a normal Galaxy Photon deck. But either way, I tried to make this deck as good as it could be, and as I said, that was a struggle. There were multiple techs and options that I went with. One of them was Vanity's Riddle at some point. But this build, I'm fairly certain, is the way to play Galaxy Ciphers if you are considering making this deck, if you're a Galaxy Eyes enthusiast. So, let's get on with the deck profile. So starting off with the monsters, and starting with the Galaxy Eyes monsters, 2 Galaxy Eyes Afterglow Dragon and 2 Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. Galaxy Eyes Afterglow Dragon is a really powerful card because if you control a Galaxy Eyes monster, you can special summon it. When it's detached from the Xyz monster to activate its effects, special summon Photon Dragon from the deck. If it was during the battle phase, double every number of monsters attack. Now, Photon Dragon at 2, this might be a bit of a shock, but with the Cipher engine, the focus has moved away from Photon Dragon and Galaxy monsters overall because, as I said, Cipher monsters don't really have a lot of synergy with the Galaxy archetype or the Photon archetype either way, so I almost completely cut out the Photon archetype in this deck because they just had no synergy or consistency with Ciphers at all. And because this shift has focused away from Photon Dragon, I only played 2 of it. Now, 2 is fine if you want to play 3 because you think that's the way to go for it, but 2 Photon Dragon and 2 Afterglow Dragon, I found that worked just perfectly. Then for your other Galaxy monsters, obviously, Triple Galaxy Soldier, really powerful card, searches out all your Galaxy monsters. I would play this either way if I was playing Photon or Ciphers because of how powerful the card is. Now I do have Cyber Dragon Infinity in the deck as well in case I need it, but Galaxy Soldier is a must-off in any Galaxy deck you play, whether that be Galaxy Photon, Galaxy Cipher, or even Galaxy Mech Knight, which is a build I haven't tested around with, but who knows, maybe in the future I might. So, Galaxy Soldier, really broken card. You can also search this out with Galaxy Expedition, which I run 3 of in this deck. If you control a level 5 or higher Galaxy or Photon monster, but in this case it will just be Galaxy monsters, you can special summon 1 level 5 or higher Galaxy or Photon monster from your deck, which is really good. You can search this out and then use this effect. You can special summon it by discarding 1 light monster, then use Galaxy Expedition to special summon something else if you want to search something else other than Galaxy Soldier, which is really good. So, Triple Galaxy Soldier, absolutely mandatory. Then 1 Galaxy Wizard and 1 Galaxy Knight. Galaxy Wizard, more or less just an extender in this deck and also can make itself level 8. You can tribute this card to add 1 Galaxy card from your deck to your hand, which is really good. And then 1 Galaxy Knight. As I have kept saying, the shift is focused away from Galaxies and Photons and is more akin to Ciphers. Now Ciphers are very reliant on their normal summon, specifically Cipher Wing, because that has no other way to special summon itself other than if you control a Cipher monster. But even then, certain Ciphers are very reliant on the normal summon. So because Galaxy Knight only gets its effect after special summon Photon Dragon from the graveyard when it's normal summoned, I cut it down to 1. But you can search this card out relatively easily with Galaxy Wizard, Galaxy Soldier, Galaxy Expedition. There's a lot of ways to search it out, which is why I only play 1 of it. If you control a Galaxy or Photon monster, but again in this case it will just be Galaxy monster, you can normal summon it without tributing, target Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon in your graveyard and then special summon it. And I'm sorry if I'm going a little bit quick with the Galaxy monsters, it's because my last video was a Galaxy Eyes deck profile and I've already gone over these cards as much as possible, and as I keep saying, the focus has shifted more on Ciphers than actual Galaxies. So sorry if I'm going a bit fast, but For now, that's just the Galaxy Eyes monsters. And then for the Cipher monsters, I'm playing triple Cipher Wing and triple Cipher Twin Raptor. These are both interesting cards, and they're probably the most important ciphers that we have at the moment. Cipher Wing in particular, because if you control a Cipher monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can tribute this card and then increase the levels of Cipher monsters you control by 4 levels, which is really good. You can go into your level 8 very easily with this card. And then Twin Raptor is another interesting card, because if your opponent controls a monster that was special summoned from the extra deck, you can special summon this card from your hand. So that's a really useful effect that can come up a lot if you're going second, and because as we probably know, the majority of decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! At the moment are very extra deck reliant. So Twin Raptor, you're going to see that effect a lot if you do decide to play this deck. And then it has a second effect where you can discard one card, special summon one Cipher monster from your hand or deck. However, you are locked into Cipher monsters for the rest of this turn. And that doesn't just mean the extra deck, but it also means monsters from your hand as well. So if you use Twin Raptor, you can't summon things like Photon Dragon, Galaxy Soldier, anything else like that that isn't a Cipher monster. Which is really, really annoying. So you can see why there isn't a lot of synergy with the Galaxy or Photon archetypes with Ciphers, because if it just said you can only special summon monsters for the rest of the turn, sorry, you can only special summon Cipher monsters for the rest of the turn, if that was just extra deck based, where it was just you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except Cipher monsters, that effect wouldn't be so bad. But no, it's just special summon monsters, period. Which is really annoying. The majority of the time you would try to avoid that effect if you don't have something to go into a rank 8, otherwise you're just going to end on this and this with no other monsters to go into. And because there are no rank 4 Cipher monsters, at least yet, and I'm hoping there will be in the future, because I really want to see Ciphers get new support and succeed, it can be very annoying to play with them. But these are the most important Ciphers because they make your plays go forward and they're your starters. So, triple Cipher Wing and triple Twin Raptor, absolutely mandatory to play at 3 offs. And then for your last Cipher monsters, 2 Cipher Triangler and 2 Cipher Mirror Knight. These are your searchers and extenders. Cipher Triangler is probably the better of them, because if this card's in your hand or graveyard, you can target a Cipher Xyz monster you control and attach this card to it as an Xyz material, which is really good. I like the fact that it can be used from your hand and graveyard as well. And then when this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add one Cipher spell or trap card from your deck to your hand, which is really good. However, you can only use one of those effects per turn. So if you activate the effect that lets it attach itself to an Xyz monster, you can't activate the search effect. If you activate the search effect, you can't activate the attach effect. But if I was going to play a Cipher engine in a Galaxy Photon deck, I would just play 3 Cipher Triangler and 1 or 2 rank up Magic Cipher Ascension, which is kind of sad to think about it, because the Cipher engine is very underpowered, at least at this point it is. And then 2 Cipher Mirror Knight. This is a very weird card because it has the effect where when a Cipher monster you control is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can discard this card, send 1 card from your hand or field to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon that destroyed monster. And then during the end phase, if this card is in your graveyard, because it was sent there this turn, you can add 1 Cipher card from your deck to your hand. Now, that effect to add a card from your deck to your hand, that wouldn't be so bad if it didn't activate during the end phase. Because what's the point of adding a card from your deck to your hand during the end phase? Because if you can't do anything with this deck, then your opponent's just going to run you over and win there and then. So that effect can be really annoying. If I was going to fix Cipher Mirror Knight, I would have the effect where you can special summon a Cipher monster that was destroyed by discarding itself. I would have that, I would keep that, but I would not have the effect where you have to get rid of another card as well. Because then that's really annoying. You're going -2 for 1 monster. That's really annoying. And at that point, Cipher monsters, particularly from the extra deck, don't do anything during the opponent's turn, which is really, really annoying. And then I would have it only search monsters, but I would allow it to search immediately, as opposed to during the end phase. Because certain Cipher monsters can be really sticky and very linear with their effects. Particularly Mirror Knight and a Triangular. You can see why this deck really doesn't have a lot of synergy with the Galaxy or Photon archetype. And I'm sorry if I keep bringing that up, but it's the inconvenient truth. Ciphers are heavily, heavily underpowered. They can do some interesting things, but not a lot. And that's it for the Cipher monsters. For certain hand traps that I'm playing, I have 2 Ghost Ogre and triple Nibiru. Now, I play these because they help get over certain problematic cards, because, as I said, this is more of a going second variant of Galaxy Eyes. So if you manage to get Nibiru on your opponent, you can then do what you need with your Ciphers, special summon your Cipher Dragons, take opponent's monsters, so you can steal the Nibiru token, and then hopefully push for enough damage to win the game, which is really good. And then Ghost Ogre, just to get rid of any problematic cards that the opponent would have. And because they're both light, you can discard it off with cards like Galaxy Soldier, which is really useful, and they have some synergy with a card called Photon Veil, which I'll get to very soon. But these are the hand traps that I play because they help the deck as much as I found. So that's it for the hand traps and for the monsters. I'm going to go on to the spells now. For the spells, triple Galaxy Expedition and 1 Photon Veil. Galaxy Expedition is probably one of the best cards that the Galaxy and Photon archetype has access to, because it has the effect where if you control a level 5 or higher Photon or Galaxy monster, you can spell summon 1 level 5 or higher Photon or Galaxy monster from your deck. But in this case it will just be Galaxy monsters, because I don't play any other Photon monsters apart from Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. But either way, this is still a mandatory free of in any Galaxy deck that you play. And then 1 Photon Veil, this is, I would consider it more of a safety net sort of card, because it has the effect where you can shuffle 3 light monsters from your hand into the deck, and then add up to 1 to 3 level 4 or lower light monsters from your deck to your hand, which is a really powerful card. So if you open up with a very bricky hand but have 3 light monsters in your hand and this, you can shuffle them into the deck and then add 3 new light monsters from your deck to your hand. However, if you add 2 or more monsters, they have to have the same name. So if you add Cipher Wing to your hand, you'd be able to add 3 of them to your hand, normal summon the first one, special summon the other 2, distribute any of them, make them level 8, go into a rank 8, and then do whatever else you need to do. Which is really good. It helps refresh your hand, and also it's another reason why I play specifically light hand traps, because if I was playing any other hand traps that were different attribute, then this would sort of brick too much and the consistency would be lowered. Only one of this because I found when I was playing 2 of it, it was a bit too bricky and it just wasn't performing as well as I would have hoped. But 1 Photon Veil I found was absolutely perfect. And then for cards that help this deck going second, 2 Rank Up Magic Cipher Ascension and 2 Black Garden. Rank Up Magic Cipher Ascension is your Rank Up Magic card, or Rum card, if you want to call it Rum. It has the effect where, during either player's main phase, and this is a quick effect by the way, which is really nice, you can target 1 Cipher Xyz monster you control, special summon from your extra deck 1 Cipher Xyz monster that is 1 rank higher than the target by using that target as Xyz material. So a basic Rum card, pretty basic. And then it gains the effect where this card gains 500 attack for each level 4 or higher monster you control. So if you go into Neo Galaxy Eyes Cipher Dragon, steal 3 opponent's monsters, it will gain 1500 attack points, which is really good. But you can use those monsters that you sold to go into your Cipher X Dragon or whatever else you need. And then 2 Black Garden. This is really good for pushing for more damage, because as I said, this is more of a going second build for Galaxy Eyes. When you summon a monster, you halve your monster's attack points, and then you're supposed to summon a token with 800 attack to the opponent's field. So, Black Garden with Nibiru is very useful, and in testing works really well, because you use Nibiru, give them the token, and clear out most of their board, summon what monsters you need to, give them the tokens, then go into your Cipher Dragon, try and get to rank up Magic Cipher Ascension as quickly as possible, steal 3 of their monsters, and then because their names, when you steal them, become Neo Galaxy Eyes Cipher Dragon and have their attack turned to 4,500, you can then attack into the 800 attack tokens and hopefully push for game, which is really amazing. And also, if you can't go into Neo Galaxy Eyes Cipher Dragon, you've got Tachyon Dragon, which can negate everything else on the field, and their attack becomes their original attack and defense. So any monsters that had their attack halved because of Black Garden become their original attack and defense. So a 3000 attack monster that went to 1500 will go back to 3000, which is really useful. So 2 rank up Magic Cipher Ascension and 2 Black Garden, really useful for going second and pushing for more damage. That is really amazing. Now for draw power cards, I have 2 Trade-in and 1 Pot of Desires. Trade-in because we play a decent number of level 8s in this deck, and 1 Pot of Desires because it's Pot of Desires. We play a lot of multiples in this deck, so I'm not too worried about getting rid of too many cards. But if you want to play free Trade-in or Upstart Goblin, that's absolutely fine, I understand, but this is the one that worked for me most of the time. And then for one-offs, 1 Terraforming, 1 Monster Reborn, and 1 Foolish Burial. Terraforming because it helps get to your Black Garden in when you need it, Monster Reborn because it's Monster Reborn, and Foolish Burial to send things like Cipher Mirror Knight, Cipher Etrangler from your deck to the graveyard so you can get their search off. You can send Photon Dragon from your deck to the graveyard, so if you have Galaxy Knight in your hand, you can normal summon Galaxy Knight if you control a Galaxy monster, and special summon Photon Dragon back, which is really useful. And that's it for the spells. And then for the only traps that I'm playing, 2 Tachyon Transmigration, really powerful card. If you control a Galaxy Eyes monster, it becomes an Omni Negate, and it can negate a multitude of things. So if this can be chained in a chain link, so if your opponent activates a chain link 3 or higher, you can then chain this, and that would negate the entire chain. And that's what it says. Negates the entire chain, which is really amazing. So that's it for the main deck. I'm going to go onto the extra deck now. 1 Neo Galaxy Eyes Cipher Dragon and 1 Galaxy Eyes Cipher X Dragon. Neo Galaxy Eyes Cipher Dragon is a really powerful card if you can summon it, because it has the effect where you can detach up to 3 Exceed materials from this card and then take control of opponent's monsters up to that number. So that's really good. You can steal up to 3 opponent's monsters, which is absolutely amazing, but only this card can attack directly for the rest of the turn. So depending on how many monsters you stole and how many tokens you gave to the opponent from Black Garden, you can put out a lot of damage, because their names, the monsters that you stole, become Neo Galaxy Eyes Cipher Dragon, and their attack becomes 4,500, which is really powerful. And then you've got Cipher X Dragon, which is a useful addition to this deck because you can steal an opponent's monster using Galaxy Eyes Cipher Dragon, and then use one of those to go into Cipher X Dragon. Now Cipher X Dragon has the effect where you can detach 2 materials from this card, then light monsters you control cannot be targeted until the end of the opponent's turn. I don't get that either. Because if you're going to use, and this is just a little criticism I have for this card, is if you're going to use a stolen monster for this card, don't give it the effect where it has to use 2 materials. You've got Cipher Etrangler, which can attach itself to this card as material, yes, but worst case scenario, you only have 1 Exceed material attached to this card. So that is a little annoying. And it also has the effect where during the standby phase, you can target a Galaxy Eyes Exceed monster in your graveyard, and then special summon it using this card, which is nice. Now one combo you can do, well not really combo, but it's a sort of option that you can go with, is use Neo Galaxy Eyes Cipher Dragon's effect, steal 3 opponent's monsters, use one of them to go into this, and then use this to go into Full Armor Photon Dragon, since Full Armor Photon Dragon only requires a Galaxy Eyes Exceeds monster, doesn't specify rank 8, which is really good. Destroy an opponent's monster, and then use Full Armor Photon Dragon to go into your Cipher Blade Dragon, and then pop another card. So that's an option you have there. And then for your other Cipher monsters, 1 normal Galaxy Eyes Cipher Dragon, and 2 Galaxy Eyes Cipher Blade Dragon. Only one of this because you don't really want to play too many Cipher monsters in the Ezra deck, because the majority of the time they don't really have any other useful effects other than just stealing monsters or protection or just getting rid of opponent's cards, which is why you don't want to play too many of them. You got normal Cipher Dragon, just still one opponent's monster, still fairly useful. And then 2 Cipher Blade Dragon, because you can go into this using a rank 8 Galaxy Exceeds monster. Sorry, a rank 8 Galaxy Eyes Exceeds monster, and then destroy an opponent's monster by detaching a material. And it can be any card as well, so it doesn't specify what you destroy, it can be anything. And also, when this card is destroyed, you can target a Galaxy Eyes Cipher Dragon in your graveyard and then special summon it. So that's a really useful effect that you have access to. And then for your other Exceeds monsters, 1 Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord, really powerful card. It's your monster negate and your searcher as well. You can negate any opponent's monster's effect, which is really good. And then during the opponent's turn, and this is a quick effect, you can add 1 Galaxy card from your deck to your hand. So, really powerful card if you're going first. 1 Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon and 1 Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon. 2 really powerful cards. Tachyon Dragon has the effect where during the battle phase you can detach or seize material from this card and then negate everything else on the field except this card. So that's really useful if you're trying to get over problematic monsters. That certain things like Boral Sword, if you're trying to get over that can be really annoying. You can just negate its effects and then get over it with relative ease. And also it has the effect where if your opponent activates a card during the battle phase, you can have this card gain 1000 attack and it can attack again, which is really useful. And then Prime Photon Dragon is another really powerful card, because you can detach and seize material from this card, and then this card gains 200 attack for each rank on the field. So just by itself it will gain 1600, go up to 5600, and then it will double its attack if you used Afterglow Dragon to detach. So, I'm very sorry about that. If you detach Afterglow Dragon, you can double its attack, so it becomes 11,000. That is amazing. However, if you don't have Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon attached to it as an Exceeds material, any damage it inflicts to your opponent is halved. So, if you're going to use Afterglow Dragon for any of your Exceeds monsters, I would recommend it using Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon, because Tachyon Dragon's effect activates during the battle phase, and then because of Afterglow Dragon, you can special summon a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon from your deck, or attach to it as material. You can also use that with Prime Photon Dragon if you want to, and then it will double Tachyon Dragon's effect. Sorry, its attack to make it 6,000. That's really powerful. So everything else on the field is negated, and Tachyon Dragon goes to 6,000. That is amazing, and it doesn't require Photon Dragon for anything else, which is really good. And then 1 Full Armor Photon Dragon. Go into this using any Galaxy Eyes Exceeds monster. Sorry, Galaxy Eyes Exceeds, very sorry. And once per turn, you can detach material from this card, pop a card on the field, which is really good. And then for more going second cards, I have 1 Draglubion and 1 Numeron Dragon. Really powerful card. You can use Draglubion to special summon any number from your extra deck. And then if you summon Numeron Dragon, you can use Numeron Dragon's effect to detach a material from this card, and then it gains 1000 attack for each rank on the field. So just by itself and Draglubion, it will gain 9000 attack, not including any other Exceeding monsters you might have on the field, which is absolutely amazing. And then you've got a Cyber Dragon package of Nova and Infinity, obviously, really powerful cards, your Omni Negates, and then 2 Galaxy Eyes Soulflare Dragon. Again, really powerful cards. If you are going second and you use Nibiru, you can then summon any light monster from your hand and then use those two to go into this if you want to, because Nibiru has more than 2000 attack points and Soulflare Dragon requires 2 light monsters, one of which having 2000 or more attack points. Then when this card is link summoned, you can target 1 Photon or Galaxy card in your graveyard and then add it back to your hand. And then during the opponent's turn, quick effect, you can discard 1 Galaxy and Photon card or just 1 Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon to destroy 1 special summon monster the opponent controls, which can be useful in a lot of certain situations. And that is it for the deck profile. I'm sorry if this was a bit of a, if I was seemed rushed on a few certain things, or if I was seeming a bit hectic, but Ciphers are a deck that, an archetype that I really want to succeed and get more support. There are 4 cards in the anime that have yet to be released for this deck that I feel would only cement this variant as a going second deck, because you've got cards like Cipher Biplane, Cipher Diffusion, Cipher Interference and Rank Up Magic Cipher Pursuit from the anime, which could really help this deck out. If you want to go check out those cards, go for it, they're really powerful. But just Ciphers as a whole, they do need a lot more support to do anything significant, which I find really upsetting. As a Galaxy Eyes enthusiast, I really want this deck to get more love and support. Also, if there was anything you think I could improve upon in this deck, please let me know in the comments, and let me know what you thought of this deck profile in the comments. I would love to hear your feedback on Ciphers. But anyway, that was it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider liking and subscribing. And as always, I'll talk to you all in the next video. Take care.